his name. How? Hey, blessed love, kings and queens. We are out here under the underpass of I-95. We're doing our outreach today, and just wanted you to see a couple things out here and to help you to understand some of the struggles that many are having. Sometimes they just need someone to help them get placement in housing and different things like that. So we're out here today. Let me turn and let you see a couple things. So we're going to try to assist today with some clothing, get some services in place. We see 3 setups out here, but presently at the time there's no one out here. So blessed love, kings and queens. Blessed love, kings and queens. This gentleman's name is George. I had the pleasure of meeting him, and he said he did need a coat to add with his other 4 coats that he had on. So I decided to go in the back of the car and give him 2 choices. Thank you to the volunteers that supplied the clothing for me so that I would be able to give him out today. George says he has no family that understands him, and he is unable to go into the shelters because he does not have identification. He said the shelters need ID to be accepted in. His hands had turned 2 different colors. He was very cold. I told him I was coming back to visit him next week, and he said he would look forward to it if he's still in the area. George has been out here on the streets now for 2 years. No one comes to bother him. He says that he's not going to kill himself. He's going to keep going because life has purpose. I really enjoyed speaking to him, was humbled by the words he said, and saw the strength in his eyes, wishing that there was more that I could do, but I did what I could. Remember, people, we are all just one situation away from being in situations similar to this. So let's give thanks for what we have and make a difference in the life of others. Talk to them. Take a moment to ask them how they're doing and see what it is you can provide. Money is not the answer. Many times people need so much more than that. They need someone to listen, someone to assist, to get them from point A to point B. Money is simply a band-aid. And a lot of times when money is given, it is stolen or they are robbed, or in many cases it is used for something other than the purpose of giving them nutrition for their body. Today was a very good day for me. I had the opportunity to take my grandson with me. He is the one that is filming right now because I want him to understand and I want him to see all the aspects of life: change, progress, decline. It is all a part of us. So I hope this video has enlightened someone. If someone knows George, you can get in contact with me. George says he has family, but he says they don't know where he's at, and his family would not understand. Blessed love, kings and queens. Good afternoon and blessed love. My name is Empress Essence Asanto Azamor Teagle, I am the founder and director, second generation of Full Circle Outreach Ministries International. I just wanted to take this moment just to speak today on something that I had the opportunity to be a part of today, which was going out and speaking with people that are without a home. I spoke with a gentleman today. Just going to go by the first name. I got his permission to share. One of the gentlemen's name was Greg and one was George. They are under the underpass under the 95 Expressway in South Philadelphia. George shared with me his story. I approached George and introduced myself to him and told him why I was out there, which I was out there to assist with clothing and things to keep people warm. Greg began to share with me and George, but I'm going to share Greg's story first because Greg is the first one I talk with. He explained to me how he needed to be out there. He said that he had been on synthetic drugs for several years and he needed to be out there. He needed to have everything that he had taken from him, and he needed to just clear his mind and his body. In speaking to Greg, and I spoke with Greg for maybe a good 20 to 25 minutes in the cold, and he shared things with me. I asked him if he wanted to share his story out of his own mouth, his own words, and he said maybe at a later time. I told him that I would be back to visit him, but he said something to me that it was a trigger for me because the words sound familiar. He said he needed to have everything in his life taken out for him to appreciate the things that he couldn't appreciate before. Greg, the whole conversation, we were eye to eye. This gentleman was very much dedicated to what he felt like his mission was. He said that God was talking to him and that God was the one that told him that he needed to let everything go. And that was why he was out there. He was looking for something. He wasn't sure what he was looking for. I told him that I wish him protection. I gave him some recommendations that he did not want. He felt as though that was the place for him. And in the video, prior to me speaking to you, he had all of his things laid out very neatly. He says no one bothers it. He does not want to go into a shelter because it's too much temptation. He feels as though he has taken so much from himself and the world. He has let his family and everyone go because he feels as though he cannot give anything more. He feels that he needs to go inward to learn how to deal with self. I found his words very compelling. In speaking with him, I learned a lot. And I felt the need to come on here and talk with you because I want you to understand something. We all, any of us, it doesn't matter if we have a job, if we don't have a job. We are all one situation, and this is just something I say, people have heard me say it many times, but it's true. One situation away from being in the shoes of someone that is without a place to stay. And there are many levels to the unhomed, the unhoused, the homeless, whichever one you want to use. There's transient homelessness, there is hidden homelessness, there is all different types, you know. There's functional homelessness, or people that they actually have somewhere to live, but they're not sure if they're going to be able to be there next month. So life itself puts strains on our finances, which leads to mental strain, which causes a physical result. So it is important that we be able to talk to people in a way that can empower them, and to let them know that the answers they're looking for truly does lie inside of them. Everyone needs assistance. Everyone. There is no one out there that is doing anything by themselves. It is a wonderful thing to have family or family members that care, love, and are willing to sit by you and stand by you. That is something that should never be taken for granted. But we do have those in society that has chose to extract themselves from family. Many see the pathology of their own living and how it affects their families. Others, they don't have a choice. They have to leave, or they've been asked to leave, or they've been kicked out. But there are many that make this choice. They see the space that they're in, it isn't a fit for them. For this particular population, it needs to be something or someone to let them know that when they are ready, that there is a place that they can go to. And being out in the elements like that, and being exposed to violence and people being assaulted, or you seeing people assaulted, that changes the structure of your thinking and the security that most of us feel like we all deserve to have, which is a safe space. Many people I have found through speaking with people that are without homes have found this level of acceptance in where they are, and even some believing that they deserve nothing more. And then you also have those that feel as though the entire world has just simply forgotten about them. And then you have the other population that doesn't even understand why they are out there. So I'm saying that to say this, that there are many dynamics to the unhoused situation in Philadelphia, Wilmington, New York, wherever you see a substantial, visible homeless population. So let us remember that when we are passing, when we are making whatever it is that we make inside of our minds. And I'm not going to sit here and say what's going on, but I can say a couple things because I've heard people say things. When you say statements like, we have all been afforded the same opportunities. No, we have not. That statement is a very dangerous statement. There are many people that, yes, had the opportunity to go to elementary school, and yes, had the opportunity to go to middle school and high school. That does not mean we are all afforded the same opportunities, and that's not what that means. You have to think about other things. There are other things that apply to that. What did that person have to deal with while they were in school? What were their home life like? What how was they processing? How did they process information? And how did they view life? You know, there are many of us that we view things different than other people. So you have to take that into consideration. And then let's just be frank and straightforward about it. And that's what I want to do. And I don't have to be politically correct. I just want to be correct in my speaking. Even when we go the path that we are supposed to go, we all know that there are obstacles that are placed there for certain people. And we need to understand that that is something that we can change. You hear a lot of people say that's something that has to change. But you know what? That's something we can change. And it starts with us. Understanding what we're looking at. Not making a judgment. Understanding that we could lose our jobs or we could have a fire and we not have anywhere to stay. It just takes one circumstance. So instead of me going on this video, what I'm going to say is remember that when you see someone, take a moment and just think about it. I hope George and Greg are able to find what they are looking for. I hope George finds his family and that they can embrace and love him because he is a older gentleman. And I hope Greg can work his way through the things that he's thinking and the way that he's processing information in his mind. Both of these gentlemen deserve respect, understanding, a chance, and consideration. Any of them that are out there deserve that. Whether they are struggling with alcohol addiction, drug addiction, mental health disorder, which in many cases there are dual situations happening at one time, which makes it even more complex. But that alone deserves priority. I think a lot of times the reason why there is never a quick fix is because we want to run up to people that we've never known and that has never seen us before, and they're living in a world where they're being violated every day and disrespected, and we're expecting magic to happen. I was listening to something on the news about the situation and how they're going to deal with things in New York. A lot of times what people need is consistency. Like you heard me say in the video, I was coming back to visit. A lot of people just need to see a person repeatedly to know that, you know what, this person does care. They said they were coming back and they came back. So that's important. Keep your mind open to understand what you see when you see homelessness, what you see when you see mental disorders, what you see when you see disabled people. Keep your mind open. Be willing to educate yourself so that you understand, and be respectful and mindful of everyone. If you see someone, they have a place in this universe, a well-deserved place. Blessed love.